Alright guys, so today we are replacing the backsplash in the kitchen. Um, don't have the first half of the footage, but that's okay. What I did was I took down the old peel and stick backsplash that the previous owners had, and I stuck up some double-sided tape that's specifically made for backsplash. And then I just started putting these on. Honestly, it's as simple as that. You would just need to cut out the areas where you're going to have your outlets, or if you have any other things that are on your wall, you just make sure that you make space for them. We just used a manual tile cutter. It's super simple, super easy. You'll see it in a minute here. The biggest thing with that is to be as straight as possible. So mine was a little bit off, but it's okay because that piece was going behind the outlet plate, so it's going to be covered. But if this is going to be like an edge piece or anything like that, you want to be as careful as possible, or maybe even flip it around if you do have a little bit of a cut that's a little bit off center or anything like that. But overall, easy, like easy peasy. Now, where things get a little bit more difficult, at least for me, was the grout. So you'll see here in a second, the grout went on way too thick. They did say to use a pre-mixed grout, so that's what I used. But honestly, if you kind of have worked with grout before, if you think you know what you're doing, just it might not be that bad of an idea to mix it yourself. Or just make sure that you work in really small sections. So that's what I did towards the end here. This part was pretty easy. I got some spacers in there just to make sure that my outlet went flush with the plate. So that worked out perfectly. I will say, kind of want to make sure that you have the right length screws, depending on how thick your backsplash is, or how thick your cover plate is. You don't want it to not screw in place. Honestly, I don't know why I was using a manual screwdriver here when I had a drill. Sometimes you just forget that you have the right tool for the job, but I remembered. So you want to make sure that's flush, make sure it's sitting how you want it to sit, and then we're going to move into the grout. So as previously stated, this was the part that I originally had the most trouble with, but I laid down my masking tape and I just started, okay? It was very thick. I had way too much on. I'm not sure if possibly it could have been mixed better. It was pre-mixed, but I think that that's what they told me to use. And so that could just be they think that it's beginner friendly or something like that, but that's what they told me. What I will say is it gets better. It's the first time for everything, and I tried it and I did it poorly, but as I kept going, once I got to the end, it was so beautiful, y'all. Y'all are gonna see it. It's so beautiful. So I'm happy. You do want to make sure that you go in multiple directions. So you want to fill in those cracks, those gaps as best you can. You want to swipe up, left, down, right, and get it as smooth and as clear as possible before you wipe with your sponge. When it comes to the sponge, you do want to make sure that your sponge is as dry as possible. That was another issue that I ran into, my sponge being just a little bit too wet. So you want to wring it out very good. If you do find that you're still getting those watermarks, those streaks, then I just went back in with a paper towel, honestly, and just dried it. You don't want to press too hard because you don't want to wipe the grout out of the gaps, but you want to, dry it. And then you just move on to the next section, little by little, until it's all covered. Honestly, so satisfying. um, and then you'll see here, the last part is just taking some caulk, going around all the edges, cleaning up everything, and then you're done. So I'll leave you to it, let you enjoy it. I hope that any renovation that you're doing in the near future goes 10 times better than this one did, and that you're happy with it and you're proud of it, and it makes your home look good, and I hope that you feel good. Other than that, I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you for watching. If you'd like, you can like it and subscribe, share it with a friend, or tell a friend to tell a friend. Alright, peace.